If you are a developer working on an AI application, you know how hard it is to make sure that the agent's responses are always useful, accurate, and safe. Because they often hallucinate, they make mistakes, and sometimes they simply fail to do their tasks. For this reason, we launched the Review Queue feature. It is to make the work of the human in the loop easier, and to help create a dataset of failure modes that you could later use to make your app better. Let's have a quick walkthrough of how to use it. Here I have my support agent app for an e-commerce store. Customers come to it with questions on refunds, shipping, discounts, everything. Everything here is being traced in MLflow in the support agent experiment. Now, when I want to create a review queue, I go to the review section, and then I click on New Queue. I will here create a queue for Hallucinations Check. And I'm going to create the questions for it. When you create a new question, you will be shown this form. It is worth noting that the answer type could be either a feedback, where the reviewer grades the response kind of like a school teacher, or it could be an expectation. In this case, the reviewer provides the best possible answer, guiding the AI on what it should do. Each answer here could be a pass or fail, a category, a numerical field, or a free text. Now, for our hallucinations check, I want to have 3 questions. The first one is, did the agent use the right tools? And it's going to be a pass-fail. Then I'm going to create a new question, call it, did it pass the right inputs? These are basically whether it sent the right parameters to the tools that it called. This one is also going to be a pass-fail. And finally, did it correctly use the tool's output? Because oftentimes the AI receives something from the tool, but then responds with something else. This is possible. So this one is also going to be a pass-fail. Now, we have all of our 3 questions for the hallucinations check ready. Let's create another review. I'm going to call it a usefulness check. This one will also have 3 questions. So, new queue, I'm going to call it usefulness check. And I'm going to start selecting the questions. Now, you notice here that all the questions that I have just created are also present here, so that you don't have to reinvent the wheel all the time. Maybe you might have the same question that you want to reuse over multiple review queues. In this case, I want to create all 3 new questions. First one is going to be, did the agent answer actually the user's question? This one is going to be a pass-fail, but I'm going to allow the reviewer to write their own rationale, because this might be up to interpretation. They will be able to explain themselves here. Then I'm going to add a new question. I'm going to call it, how clear was the question from 1 to 10? Here I'm going to just add a little bit of instructions for clarity. I'm going to say 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest. This is still a feedback type of question, but the type of the answer is numeric. So I'm going to give it a minimum value of 1, maximum value of 10. And last, I'm going to create a question which is the most interesting one. How would you have answered this question? This one will be an expectation, and its type will be free text. The reviewer could add whatever they want. Now, with the queues created, we go to our traces, and we can select any trace or all the ones that we're interested in and send them for review. In this case, I'm going to flag for review and send them to both the usefulness check and the hallucinations check. And with this, if we go to the review section, we will see both of our queues created. And if we select any of them, we'll see all of our traces that we've selected are already in there with the status saying needs review. If we start the review, this is what we'll be seeing. We'll be seeing the trace itself along with all of the questions on the right side. And if we click on view full trace, we'll be able to see what happened. Here we have a user who came to the support agent saying, I really want the smart home speaker, but it says it's out of stock. When will it be back? And is there anything similar I can get? Let's investigate the full trace to see what the agent actually did. So here we see the user's message. Then we see what the agent did in the tool calls. It called a tool called get product info. In the inputs to that tool, it has smart home speaker, which is the correct input that it should have used. And then the outputs of it were the price, whether it's in stock, and it says false, and the restock date. And finally, in the output, it said that the smart home speaker by Home Hub is out of stock and will be back in stock on August 15. So when it comes to our questions, did it correctly use the tool's output? This is a pass. Did it pass the right inputs? This is also a pass. And did it use the right tools? Also a pass. All 3 questions get a pass. Once we submit, the queue already moves to the next question, and we can tackle them one by one, which we're not going to be doing in this video. Now, if we go to the usefulness check, we'll be able to see what that review looks like. We have the 3 questions, the pass-fail, the from 1 to 10 question, and how would you have answered it, all there. We could put them all and answer them. But here's the transformative part, is that now that we've answered the questions, they are baked into the trace. So if we go back to the traces, we look at all the columns, we see that these assessments and their results are baked into the trace. This means that whenever we're running evaluation agents, whenever we're reviewing them manually, even if we pull them and look at them ourselves, we have a list of failure modes, where the agent succeeded, where it failed, what works, what does not work. This is great because we could take this and pass it back to our coding agent or use it ourselves or retrain the model with it so that our app works better in the future. This eliminates the need for Excel files going back and forth and for all that clunky workflow. And it empowers the human in the loop to be able to make the app better in the easiest way possible. If you like this feature, please give us a star on GitHub, and I will see you in the next feature. Thank you.